Close the door there. Here you go, bud.
How in the heck are y'all? I'm whispering because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning here, but I'm still excited, so I'm really gonna have to keep this calm. You guys are not gonna want to miss this video. This is our first trip with the Take a Vet Fishing Foundation. Had 30 boats. We were the last of 30 to volunteer. I think there was somewhere around 50 to 75 veterans. There's even World War II veterans, and you guys are definitely gonna want to stick around to the end of this video. World War II veteran gets up, tells his story about being on a battleship that went down and surviving. So aside from all the fish catches, the bonus walleye and bass gear, great laughs, great people, you guys are definitely going to want to stay till the end of this video. So without any further ado, here is the video. Okay, everybody, we made it to our home for the next couple of days down here in Escanaba. I didn't film any of the adventures here, mostly because I honestly am questioning whether or not I'm dying right now. Got some weird indigestion or something going on. Had to make Mike stop at the store and get me some Pepto-Bismol. It's working a little bit. But we're tent camping in what appears to be a rather moist area. We're going to get a camp set up, go out to a little bit of scouting. We got a veteran to take fishing bright and early in the morning. Oh, that felt good. After about a minute and a half, we got home set up. Hopefully this puddle doesn't get any bigger if it rains, or else we're going to see how well the tents float. But we're probably going to go out, do a little bit of scouting, and see if we can't get a little bit of a game plan together in the next couple of hours for early morning fishing trip. We are in the water on the Escanaba River. Waiting for Mike to park the truck and trailer, and then we are going to do a little bit of scouting. We're going to start for pike. Depending on how much daylight we have left, we might attempt to target some walleyes, but more or less for this Take a Vet fishing day, I think we're going to be targeting bass and pike because it's what we know best. We tried to check the mouth. We got a tip that there's a secret pike spot out there, but it's a little choppy. We came upstream. I'm throwing a rip and wrap. Mike, what are you throwing? Football head jig with something on it. Oh, that might have been a weed. Guy and his son came by on a kayak. They've been catching the fish, so we at least know they're here. Whether or not we can put a beat down on them. Not sore mouth too many to the point where the veteran can't catch any tomorrow. Came across what appears to have been a bridge of sorts at one point in time. Throwing a white spinnerbait with a white trailer. Haven't caught a fish yet, but I think they're gonna be around here. If I could keep us off of them with the current and the wind, both playing against us, makes it a little more interesting. Uh-oh. Our scouting mission was unsuccessful. We saw at least 2 fish, which means there are fish here, but due to the fact that we have to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna call it a night, go back, make some hot dogs, get a couple hours of napping, and then figure out the game plan in the morning. This could be a morning spot. It could be a no time of day spot. We've got another spot to try out. It's supposed to be windy tomorrow out here in the bay, which would be fine if we weren't taking a veteran fishing. We'd probably go out there and, you know, punish ourselves. But we have to take somebody else's safety into consideration. So I think we're gonna stick to the rivers, but we've got another river to try where we know there's smallmouth. So we'll see what happens. A little update for you guys. We tried to start a fire the Boy Scout way. That didn't work out, so we poured gasoline on it. Probably gonna want to back up, maybe a little bit. Ooh, yep. Well, we got fire now. It's like 12:30 in the morning, 12:40 in the morning. Took us about an hour and a half to get a fire started so that we could cook our dinner, and then we spent another hour or so discussing our game plan for the morning, which is going to come in another 4 hours. We got to be awake and functioning to take a veteran fishing. Game plan is we're going to take him out and we're going to knock the socks off the fish. Hopefully. Pray for us, guys. This guy deserves some fish catching, and we're going to do everything we can to give it to him. But we'll see ya in the morning. Well, just about got a chance to blink before my alarm went off. It is now windier than it was when we went to bed 4 hours ago. Gonna be interesting. We're gonna go catch some fish. Good looking puppy.
Oh, Sandra, you're in boat 5. But Tom Gursky is going to be your...
Boat 5, so there's probably at least 5 of them, right?
But as soon as he does, I'll let you know.
Essential for the trip is coffee. So what branch of the military were you?
Army.
Army?
Yeah, Army aviation helicopter.
Yeah, I tried to line my way into the Army, but they wouldn't take me. Go! Well, if you want, Frank, you can sit in the chair back here.
No, this is fine. I'm good here. I'm good.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be out of your way, you know.
So he's going to be on his rolling motor up front.
Yeah, I'm in the market. I'm gonna get a new one, and it'll have a remote control. Like I take a lot of like disabled kids fishing, and it's or I like to spill coffee a lot too.
I tried to grab it.
Was that one mine too?
No, it's mine.
Oh, that's all right. But it's, you know, not only do I have to teach the kid how to fish, I have to watch my ears and my eyes, and so if you throw this one.
Okay.
And then
Me too. You knocked it over, and I was like, I got it. This is just falling. I grabbed it.
hand me that spinning rod with the Shimano reel on it.
You hook them in the side like that?
Yeah, it's called a Senko worm, and it's called wacky style. It's something, I don't know what it is. It's something about the way that frickin' bait falls in the water that just drives the fish mad.
Oh, no.
I thought that was a weed. I think that was a pike. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
I think it was a pike. Well, this thing works. I had little confidence in this bait. Well, I just caught our first fish. Was gonna hand it off to our veteran, and we lost it. Well, that's all right. We at least know there's fish here. Doing better than our scouting mission on the Escanaba River. I don't think a lot of the people, like that one guy was from Traverse City, never fished up here. I think a lot of the people don't really know the area too well. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I like about our nonprofit is, you know, like you got a lot of your associations that target, you know, one demographic, like your Wounded Warriors,
Right.
Make-A-Wish Foundation, things of that nature. In my opinion, I'm like, why are you, they're almost like racist. It's like, why are you only helping out one type of people? Like, why can't you help out everybody? So our mission statement is to make the great outdoors accessible to anyone and everyone, regardless of age, limitation, or disability. So that basically leaves me wide open where I can take anybody I want. Walleye guys. Wonder if are those the guys that launched before us? If I got out there and realized it was nasty, punching a Senko.
Big killer.
It's, in theory, it should be a bass killer, but we'll see. That's what I love about the UP. You get that Uper hospitality, you know. You go downstate, nobody's ever gonna, you know, give you a fish.
I did not fill it.
Why are you limited how much snout you can get?
Yeah, I think it's 2 gallons.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think there were, probably back in your day, there wasn't a limit.
No, 5 gallon bucket. I mean, we used to take garbage cans and fill them.
Jeez.
Those metal trash cans.
You ever hear of a burbot?
Yeah.
You ever fish for him?
No.
Oh, we'll get you out this winter.
Oh.
I go out to Munising at night and just hammer the living piss out of them. And they're so ugly, they're so slimy, they're so smelly. But I would pee on a walleye to eat a burbot.
Really?
We gotta get a fish today before we start talking about it.
Yeah, that's true. You won't want to come out with us again. I'm baffled that we haven't caught a fish yet, other than that one that we lost. I blame the weather. I haven't taken you to the good spot yet. I'm just making sure you're worthy. Yeah, I'll make sure I get your phone number, and if you ever need a boat for anything, just give me a call. I'm right down the road. Hooked up? Don't fall in the water.
Oh, it's a northern. Here you go, bud.
I got my light in the water.
Look, I got it.
Here, Mikey, you give me that one, or you reeled in. I'll just hand you the net. Or I can ball net him. Bring him this way. Oh,
sorry,
uh-oh.
sorry.
No, that was my fault.
I lost your Senko.
No, that's a northern,
Yeah.
not to musky. You also thought a thought a guy riding a bike with a baby stroller was a black bear.
Black bear.
Well, we got our veteran his first fish. It's not a giant.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Well, you didn't want a picture of that one anyways.
A bear.
Well, you're not the bad luck charm. That's good to know.
I thought we were about to lose that fish on the net job there, Scott.
Hey. I put a 33-inch Laker in there and I whiff it on a 13-inch Northern.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think you can see just because of some of the stuff you do, and then I watch your net job. And I'm like, nope.
I know there's at least one 40-inch pike swimming around with one of my jigs in his mouth. Got one. Oh! You want this one?
Yeah, take it.
You took a bait casting class, so you should know how to use that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
yeah.
grab a net. That's definitely a smallmouth.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting something figured out here.
So we got the skunk off our backs here. Now we're about to get our second. We can't talk today in this video. We're about to get our second fish in the boat.
Don't jinx us yet.
Yeah.
Frank's taking it.
Oh, I didn't even. That's where he is.
I couldn't see where.
That's a nice size one. Like a nice size one.
That's probably a 14. As soon as you take off the scent that we take the Senko off his rod, I catch one on the same Senko.
Do you want to hold it like
Just hold him out as far as you can. We'll make him look like a 20-pounder. I call it the long arm, strong arm.
You release them?
Yep. Snag. We'll make it. I gotta get mine. I gotta get mine unsnagged real quick. A couple of the big 6-pounders we caught out of here. I set the hook and I'm like, God dang it, it's a log. Also, okay, here we go.
I got one. I got one.
Okay. That's definitely a fish. Here, Mike, I'm gonna let you net this one.
All right.
We're all tied. We've all got a fish. Don't lose it. Mike, you'll lose it for you. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, they get this time of year. There's still big ones in here, but the small ones come in. Yeah, we're gonna fish this down. We'll go, and then we might have to motor back up to that spot. We can even anchor if we get into the fish up there. Man, that wind is definitely not calming down. Oh, the wolves too.
And the multiple goats.
Got one.
And they never recovered.
Oh, is it northern? No, this one's not worthy.
I think there's a lot of reed sticks and stuff over here. They feel.
Slimy buggers. So what's that, 2 pike and 2 smallies?
Yep.
Well, that's 4 more walleye than we would have caught. I mean, if it was a flat, calm day and it was like an 8-hour event, like, yeah, I'd say let's just go troll around a little bit and knock. Maybe we'll catch a walleye, but with chop and limited time, I was like, yeah, we're at least going to catch this guy a fish.
I enjoy this. I enjoy this.
I watched a lady, probably 67 years old, sit in a lawn chair right here as I get snagged, catch a 6-pound, probably 6.5-pound smallmouth, using this same worm, the worm you were using earlier, on a bobber.
Oh, really?
Like something like any bass fisherman would look at that and just roll on the floor laughing. Like when the smallies are really in here, it's like you can catch them on anything. The best part of our Isle Royal trip, the last day we fished before we left, we caught like 12 lake trout. We threw back a bunch of little ones, but I think we kept 4 that day. And the last rod goes, and we think we got a 20-30 pound laker on, fighting just like a 20-30 pound laker would. Fight this thing all the way to the surface. Probably takes about 20 minutes. Get it up. It's about a 15-pound rock with 1 hole. There's only 1 hole in the entire rock, and that's where the hook went. I grew up in the wrong time.
They
I would be good with a sword, I think.
Yeah, they also that's where you had your Swiss Banks account.
I wouldn't have been turned down from the Army 200 years ago for being blind as a bat.
Probably not.
Oh, got him. This might be a nicer one. No, not a nicer one. Pike.
It's a walleye. It's a walleye.
Get that ruler up. This might actually go 15.
There's the keeper.
See, what did I tell you? I catch more walleye bass fishing than I do actually targeting walleye. This might actually be a little small.
Well, it's 14 or 15.
15. Well, we're gonna pray.
I got the fish stretcher over here.
Oh, what do we got?
14 and 3/4.
Hey, you got a walleye. And you caught him in your worm.
That is a bass lure.
I see your lure.
It's got a little bead on it. Yep. Because I've tried the same rig without that, so like, you know, the weight just free falls.
Right.
The same exact hook and the same exact bait. I never caught a fish on it. I put that bobber stopper, holds that weight there.
Oh, this out? What that is? I'm learning all this new stuff.
It's called a punch rig. Towards the end of April, early May, right this little spot right here, I caught most of my 6-pounders right in there. We're probably gonna have to send her. We got like 10-10. We just dropped off our veteran back at his car. We are now headed to the campground to drop off the boat. And we are headed back to the VFW hall for a little celebration. We did pretty good fishing. We caught the guy some fish. He even caught his own fish. We let him reel in a couple of our fish. It was all in all a pretty decent time. Met some pretty cool guys. We're gonna meet even probably more cool people at this little get together. Potentially lined up a future sponsorship with Lose. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We'll see how that goes, but we'll keep you updated here shortly.
They got coffee and stuff down there.
Moseying on in. It's a full crowd. Not too shabby.
Oh, say, can you see?
We got a delicious meal here. We're gonna eat this real quick. And there's a raffle, a little prize giveaway. Hopefully I got the winning ticket if I didn't lose it already. Winning ticket, you got lots of good prizes.
Operation Fishing Freedom is currently filming season 2. And there's a gentleman here right now that I'd like to recognize with his family. And his name is Leon Snyder. Leon, at 17 years old, was on a battleship out in Okinawa and was hit by a kamikaze pilot. Leon spent 3 days at sea. Was in a battleship. I'm going to let the family tell because I'm going to mess this up, but I'm going to let him tell the story.
The battleship was a destroyer. Didn't hand sail. And my voice was a little better than his. His destroyer was sunk in the Battle of the Philippine Sea. He spent 3 days in shark-infested waters. And about 2/3 of his crew was lost. He's a survivor. What was the name of your ship? The Pringle, DD-447. There you go. Destroyer escort. But it was not a battleship. Big difference. He grabbed the mic as soon as they said their battleship.
We always start by honoring our World War II and our Korean War veterans. And the reason we do that is because, as Tom Brokaw said, they are the greatest generation. They are the cornerstone of the America we know today. They are the architects of the American dream. So, could all of our World War II and Korean War veterans please come up here? It's so important that we preserve these stories and remember these folks and remember that time and how different it was and how truly, how much their sacrifice meant to the way that we live our lives every day to this day. The reason organizations like ours exist is because of the incredibly difficult lessons we learned and the incredibly large price that these men and women paid when they returned home from war. We all know the stories of what happened to our Vietnam veterans, and ultimately they became victims of the very freedom that they were sent to protect. Because of our Vietnam veterans, this country will never, ever, ever make that mistake again. Vietnam veterans, on behalf of Take a Bet Fishing, welcome home.
Hey everybody, this is probably going to be the end of this video. We are just getting back to the campground and take a nap. We're going bow fishing tonight down a rapid river, potentially somewhere else if this wind screws off. All in all, a great event. Met great people, a lot of great new contacts. We're going to be doing a lot more stuff to help out the Take a Vet Fishing Foundation. And I actually talked to a guy, been bass fishing for 55, 60 years, sponsored up the wazoo, and he's got a line. He's going to get me hooked up with Pro Staff for Lose. It's kind of a big time sponsor compared to the small local businesses we've been working with so far. We'll see where that goes. And with that, I guess we'll wrap up the video. Thanks y'all for watching. Happy adventures. At Hunters for Life, it is our mission to make the great outdoors accessible to anyone and everyone regardless of age, limitation, or disability, one partner at a time. Our great partners include Threads and Ink, Huron Mountain Rod Company, made right here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, Mud Buddy Motors, based out of Utah, our good friend Nick over at Superior Outfitters, also a dealer for Huron Mountain Rods, Brian McCarter with Nemesis Baits, Light Dreamers, custom pike and muskie baits, based out of Chicago, shipped worldwide. And last but not least, our good buddy Adam Carpenter, host of the one and only Outdoor Show. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy adventures.